Hi everyone, my channel. I know it's very difficult and very complex to talk about the future, but for me at least it's very naive and sometimes dangerous to make prediction about the future. For instance, what will be happening in the next 100 years from this moment. But it's very clear for me that futures will be extremely different from our moment, our time, because this progress which happening actually and the development in technology and AI will be change the human life forever. I don't know, this will be paradise or maybe the new hell in this planet. All of this actually depend on our choices and which state we build for ourselves, which society we build for our nation, and so forth. But I always try to take the pessimistic way to look to the future, and I look actually to the dangerous possibility could facing the human life. I mean the earth, generally the life in this planet. And if the consciousness could exist in, could the consciousness emerge with AI, for example, emerge with different entity which human made, is really difficult, because in future it will be impossible to tell the difference between the real entity and the machine, for example. And also because the moral consequences will be merge and appear with this era. I mean the future will be maybe the most difficult, psychologically for human, because our nervous system adapt in savannah. Our nervous system adapt to deal with very simple problem, to avoid the lion, search for or hunt some animal in jungle, in savannah. But right now I'm not sure why we have this high level of consciousness and intelligence compared with another animal, but it's still very big mystery for human why we behave in this way, why we have very high intelligence compared with another animals. And if really the consciousness could be emerge and appear from material entity like computer, for example, this will be very, very different world from this moment. Just imagine that your computer could feel, and your computer have this phenomenon of suffering, could suffer from something painful emotionally or physically. And I know it's even naive to imagine these scenarios could be happening in the future, but who's know actually? No one could say anything about this, but maybe the imagination help the human to use their fantasy to imagine which world will be exist in the future. This is actually very simple message from the past to those who are living in the future, that really life is very complex for us, I mean for Homo sapien, and I know that our ancestor will be disappear, and this very painful if you are very selfish, but is reflect in the way of life itself. Life depends on this extension of species and animal. So if really the human will be in the future, and this certainly will be happen actually, the human will be disappear for different reason, for some of them because evolution actually is continuous processing. The evolutions continue every minute, every second, every hour. So the future entity, maybe they will be very different from us. I mean physically and psychologically, mentally, they are very different. Are the same like we are very different from chimpanzee or chimp. So to make this very clear, that just imagine that the chimp could not understand well, like impossible to, if you try to explain for chimp, for example, quantum physics, it will be very difficult to digest and understand. And this very actually is very clear for all of us. And this will be the same situation with the human. I mean Homo sapien, and the next ancestor will be exist from us. And I think that our mind is very limited actually, and if there are some possibility to develop AI that could make human think deeply, this also will become with some dangerous way actually. I mean there's some danger come with this development. Like if we, for instance, if you take the genetic engineering and you try to build a very intelligent entity, for example, you want to make super intelligent science kid, for example, and you know which gene you should change, but you don't know about consequences. For example, you don't know about the spirituality of this kid. You don't know about what will be happening with this environment, with consciousness itself. So the same actually is happening with the human. When the human build a dam, we don't know about the consequences. We don't know how many animals will be suffering or dying from this. So I think, in my opinion, the future is very dangerous, maybe, because it's emerged with AI, biotech, and infotech. And this is actually the pessimistic way about my view in the future. But actually I know there are a lot of people have a very positive view about the future, that technology will help a human to live for a very long time. This is true, actually. It's happening in this moment. Anyway, this was very short video about my view in the future. Thank you for listening.